Welcome back to this morning's Still to Come. Pecs and proms, something for everyone.
So whether it's washboard stomachs or a little bit of Walgan you're talking
He may
about.
have a washboard stomach.
But I think he does.
I think he does.
He is honed.
He honed.
Stephen's got more of your comments in the hub.
That last comment was very, very sensible.
All the way through that you went,
quite
yes,
right,
yes,
yes,
quite right,
yes,
quite
yes,
right.
balance, all about balance. Right, it's competition time now. £54,321 is up for grabs.
Yeah, the best of luck. Earlier this year, teenager Dwayne Ward was the victim of an horrific assault whilst on holiday with his family.
It was widely reported at the time that the attack occurred after Dwayne had kissed a local Turkish girl. What followed next was a horrific and bloody assault which left Dwayne's life hanging in the balance. And Dwayne joins us now with his mother Doris, and welcome to both of you. And I remember this story breaking, and it's actually extraordinary that you're sat here on this sofa now telling us your story.
Oh no. If everyone keeps saying that to me, I'm here alive.
I know. Well, you're a very, very lucky boy. Let's just begin with the story. Sunday the 23rd of June, you two and your elder brother, Darren, fly out to Turkey. Your other two siblings are left at home. Holiday started off brilliantly. In fact, you have memories of that first day.
Oh, yeah, the first day was... We were happy, weren't we? We had a good laugh. We were on the phone. And I thought, oh, this is a holiday we're going to remember, you know. We're going to have a good laugh, we're going to enjoy it.
You left all your problems at home.
Yeah.
Not quite the case, because it was only the following day, this was the Monday, that you'd gone into sort of the town centre to have a meal. And about 12:30 in the evening, you'd left. And you'd left the boys to it, and you were going to go out to the bars and enjoy yourself.
You just don't think about it, you just want to have fun, basically, but then this happens.
Well, he wanted to go and find himself and go to this bar street.
Yeah, well, and that's just
which would all a lot of them do. And I'm saying, just stick together, don't lose each other, whatever you do, just stick like glue, you know.
Absolutely, totally normal.
Oh, God,
totally normal.
What do you remember of that night?
I remember when Mum left, we walked down this beach, then we went to the bar street, like an alleyway. Then we went to a few bars and pubs, and then the tattoo parlour, we didn't go in there. Then we went to the nightclub, and the last thing I remember was like blue lights just shining all over. And I went outside, and that's where I remember getting hit in the back of the head. And so that's the last thing you remember? Yeah, last thing I remember.
For you, you'd said stay together, and unfortunately the guys did get separated that evening. When was the first that you realised that they weren't together? Yeah,
when Darren came back to the hotel room, I was asleep. And I heard him coming in, and he said, "Is Dwayne in, Mum?" And I went, no, he's not in. So he said, "Oh, he won't be long then." I went, "What do you mean he won't be long?" He said, "He won't be long." He said, he'll be in a minute. And like, I jumped up and I started shouting at Darren, saying, you've left him, you should not have left him," and things like that. I said, "I haven't, Mum, we've lost each other." So the next thing, Darren had flaked out on his bed and fell asleep because he'd had a lot to drink. And then I got ready and I went out looking for him. And because I hadn't been to that part of Marmaris before, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went about 4-5 blocks away. And I thought, I better go back because I'm going to get lost.
So then you had this waiting game. You sort of sat in the hotel.
Yeah, I was just sat and
waiting for him to return.
Like, I knew something had happened.
You just had that
mother's instinct. The papers made a big thing out of the fact that you'd kissed a girl at some stage during the course of the evening. Do you think that the attack was prompted by that kiss?
It could have been, I don't really know, but that was a few hours earlier, because I remember leaving that bar and going to different bars in the nightclub.
So
it could have been.
It could have been, but do you think there is anything else? Is there anything else that you know of that would have prompted such a vicious attack?
Maybe because I was having fun and like being a bit boisterous, but it might have been that. Yeah. It might have been other things, or I don't know.
Well, being boisterous doesn't lead to what happened. It shouldn't ever lead to what happened to you, because you were found early the next morning lying in a public garden in Marmaris, robbed, stripped naked, multiple stab wounds. According to medical and police reports, you were stabbed 17 times, sustained slashes from razor blades, cut to your arms where you tried to defend yourself. your face, your throat, your chest, your hip, your right shoulder, your groin. They badly damaged your eye, your right eye as well. So you were unaware of all of this, and the next thing you remember is when you wake up in
I didn't have
hospital.
a clue what happened.
What about you, the first time, when you were called? How did you find out that this had happened?
You know, the man who lets guests into the hotel through the night time, he came up and he said, yes, because he knew I'd been out looking for him and he knew I was worried about him. He said, oh, your son's been arrested. So I know it's a horrible thing, but I was like quite relieved.
You knew he was somewhere safe.
Yeah, I thought that. And then he said to me, I'll put you in a taxi and you can go and see him. He put me in a taxi and he said to the taxi driver, State Hospital. And I went, you said he was arrested? He went, yeah, the police are at the hospital. So I was like, well, right. And
so when did you see him for the first time?
Oh, I didn't see him for about 8 hours later.
And what was that like when you finally caught sight of him? You say that you looked at it was almost like out-of-body experience.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It just didn't feel like it was me standing there, and that wasn't my son there, you know. I was on the outside looking in, you know. It wasn't me.
Dwayne, you have no memory of the attack at all. We said that earlier. You were shown. I mean, they had cameras. It appears everywhere.
Yeah,
so they pieced together the evening and they showed you the tape of what had happened. Watching that back, what was that like for you? Because that would have been the first time that you'd have...
That was scary, that, because they showed me one where I was walking with him, and I don't remember walking anywhere with anyone, and I was just like, what?
Then me and his brother seen another one where they had hold of him. One had hold of that arm, and they were dragging him. His feet wasn't touching the floor, and his head was on one side. So obviously he was knocked out at that time.
Well, thankfully you don't remember, in a way.
I know, that's what I said.
Merciful that you don't.
Well, a 26-year-old man was later arrested for the crime. His initials were given in court as AD. He was named locally as Attila Dinsa. Second man, who's 24, was arrested more than 300 miles away in Konya. He was identified as Ishmael A in court. The two men have since admitted a series of offences and are awaiting trial. Ishmael A admitted charges of attempted murder, robbery, wounding with intent to kidnap. Attila Dinsa has admitted 3 of the charges against him, robbery, wounding with intent to kidnap. You have no idea why they did this, why this was so severe. What?
Robbery? I would just say it was a robbery because he was spending money. And Darren was giving him money as well, so I think it was just a robbery. We don't really know what happened, but in my own mind eyes, I hope it was a robbery and nothing else. And they did take everything off him. They even took his wristband, and you know.
But there are a lot of people who go on holiday to Turkey, a lot of youngsters go on holiday to Turkey and have a fantastic time and come back safe and sound. But is there anything that you would say that you would have done differently?
Don't go to Bar Street.
Yeah, Bar Street is just not a very nice place at all. Because the 3 times I've been there before, we never went to Bar Street at all. And that was the first ever time I went to Bar Street at night.
And what about you? How are you doing? Because obviously, you know, you've got the scars. It's going to take you physically and mentally a long time to recover from this.
I'm feeling okay, but I just keep getting like flashbacks of and all that, and just.
Well, you've had terrible complications as well, because when you came back, you were exercising because you're a very fit guy and you love your football. And then you began not to feel very well. Were rushed into hospital, and they couldn't believe that you were walking, let alone exercising, because fluid had started to gather around your heart.
Yeah, they said like if I left it a few more days, I would have collapsed.
And so you've got to be very careful now with your rehabilitation.
Yeah, I've got to just
go
rest.
slowly.
Yeah, just rest.
Some medication, and I'm going to keep an eye on him. And
Would you go to Turkey to watch the trial? Or?
No,
they said we don't have to. No. They're just going to send a letter to us and see what happens.
When his dad come over, his dad took him to the police station because I couldn't have done it.
Yes.
And they got it all sorted out there, and then
we've done enough.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
We wish you well.
Glad
Thank
to
you
see
very
you
much
well.
for coming in to lace your story and look after yourself.
It's nice to
Thank
meet
you.
Well, thank you.
Right, we'll be back after this break.